Hey guys, Dennis back with a brand new video. So if you watched my other video on changing the rollers on the Kenmore dryer, today we're going to be working on the dryer once again. The rollers did not fail. They're still going strong months later, but the dryer's not heating anymore. Here's what the dryer looks like. This is a gas version. So all you're going to need for this is a 1/4-inch nut driver and a voltmeter. It doesn't have to be digital like this one. It could be analog, but you have to have a resistance measurement on your meter. So all we're going to do first here is we're going to remove all of the screws holding the back cover on here. And just take all 9 of these screws off. I already took the 4 on the left and right on the bottom out. And then all you do is you kind of lift up a little bit. There's a little tab on the bottom of this that sits into the back of the dryer. And then you lean it backwards here and then lift up. Obviously, there could be a couple reasons. You know, you could have a bad gas valve, but 9 times out of 10, it's what we call a thermal fuse. Combustion in there forces the air up through here and into the drum of the dryer, right? So there's 2 basically high limit temperature sensors on here. And what these are, they're referred to them as a snap disc. And what happens is if it gets to a certain temperature, the contacts in here will open up. So they can either use that to regulate the temperature in there, or they can use it as like a high limit. If it gets too hot, it'll kill the gas valve and shut the combustion down. So you want to get your meter. You want to put it on ohms, right? We're going to put this guy on ohms. I'm going to see if I can hang this where you can see it. And I'll show you what the value is here as I measure it. But basically, when you short your leads together, right, you're gonna read a small resistance. It's not gonna be exactly 0. It's like 0.1, 0.2 ohms. But that indicates a short, right? You wanna see a short on these sensors, and that'll tell you that the sensor is closed and it's good. It's not, the sensor isn't tripped. Because if it was tripped, you would have an infinite resistance measurement. So if you can see 0.1 ohms there, right? So that one's telling me that one's good. So we're gonna plug it back in. And I like to disconnect. You can disconnect, this one was 1 connector, so both wires came off, but I would recommend disconnecting one side. And what that does is that keeps you from reading any of the internal circuitry of the dryer. So we're gonna put our lead on the bottom one, we disconnected the top. All right, this one's also 0.1 ohms. All right, so these 2 are good. Now there's one more on the bottom. On the bottom here, this is where your exhaust hose connects to. And this chamber right here, your lint screen goes down into this chamber. So there's 2 high limits on here. There's a high limit fuse on here, right? Now this one isn't self-resetting. These other ones, these snap discs, self-reset after the temperature goes back down past whatever the set point is on them, right? So a couple reasons a thermal fuse can blow. It either got too hot because you know, you had something weird in the dryer or whatever, or the lint screen, you were running the dryer with the lint screen full of lint and the air couldn't escape through and it got too hot in here and burnt the thermal fuse, right? So we are gonna take we're gonna need our 1/4-inch nut driver for this, but we're gonna check the snap disc first. So let's disconnect one side of this. There's 4 wires on here. There's 2 red and 2 purple. One of the purples and one of the reds has a white stripe on it. And it's for this particular Kenmore dryer. I'm sure it's very similar on other ones, but we're gonna check from side to side here. And I do have resistance here. We're gonna check from top to bottom. I'm gonna pull this wire off. And these wires, these spade connectors on here, you can typically just kind of rock the connector back and forth and it'll come off. So we're gonna check top to bottom. I have 0.1 ohms and we're good. All right, so that sensor is good. So we're gonna put these connectors back on here. And then we have one last one to check. And this is the one I think has the problem. It's this white one right here. And there is, we're gonna pull the wires off of this. And we're gonna check this one with our meter. sure enough, this is what you're gonna see on your meter. OL, over limit. And that basically just means it's an open connection, right? When my meter lead's not touching anything, I don't read any resistance. When they're shorted, I do read resistance. And then this particular one, I got nothing. So that tells me that this thermal fuse is bad. One other indication we noticed too, when it wasn't heating, the dryer just kept running basically forever. And I think when it does detect the heat, that's what starts that timer function on your dial on the dryer to start counting down basically for whatever time limit you set it on. So this is what the fuse looks like, and you can buy these. I mean, you can get them. They don't sell them at like the big box stores like Home Depot or Lowe's. You can order them on their website, but you can either order these online on like an appliance supply house, or you can get them on Amazon. So I was actually able to get a 3-pack of these on Amazon, and they were like $6.99 for the 3-pack. I'll put the part number down in the description. I'm not sure if you can read that with the glare or not, but it is 3392519 thermal fuse, and it is 91 degrees Celsius. And 3-pack for, it was like $7.44 with tax shipped. Got it next day. And there's a little notch on the bottom of here. This notch fits into here. And then we take our screw, put our screw back in. And we'll connect our wiring. I'm gonna make sure your wiring is tight on here. Sometimes these, like this one right here, is loose. So what you can do, if it's a little loose, is you could squeeze a connector back together. Oh, and I'll show you what a good one looks like too. So let's check from one side to the other on here. And you'll see on the new one, I have 0.1 ohms. So I know that is good. So basically all we have to do now is reassemble the dryer. Before I reassemble it, I'm probably going to plug it in and test it. So I reconnected the exhaust hose, plugged it in, started it up, and this is getting hot now. So that's simple, you know. You ended up with a 3-pack for $7, so if it does happen again, we have extras to fix it. All right, so I stopped the dryer, we unplugged it. We're gonna put the back cover back on, all the screws, and we'll reattach the exhaust, move the dryer back in place, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, so that wraps it up for today's video. Hopefully this was useful to you. If it was, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing. I got a ton of DIY videos. I always have new stuff coming out all the time. Thanks for watching. Until next time.